Hi, this is Cecilia from Tarot by Cecilia, and this is your weekly tarot guidance for the week of November the 6th through the 12th of 2017. As we go into this week, on the 7th, we will see Venus enter Scorpio. Not one of Venus's favorite places to be. I will have on Patreon a tarot guidance which is exclusive to there that you can listen to, okay, to help you figure out what that is all about. On the 11th, happy birthday to me, Saturn will once again trine Uranus. And the best way that I can explain this, that we can all understand, the way I see it, is, going back to 2012, if you remember the story with all of the Pluto-Uranus squares and all of the damage they did. Pluto and Uranus were like not just home wreckers, they were life wreckers. And then Saturn came into Scorpio and 5 years of chaos for everyone, right? So by now you're going, well, wait a minute. Cecilia said Saturn. And Saturn is not that kind. Saturn's the great taskmaster. But Saturn also rewards. And as I say that, it gives me the chills. Because to me, these are like puzzle pieces. When we've had these, I think this is the third one, the trine between Saturn and Uranus. So this is something that's coming up out of the blue, and it's like a puzzle piece that's rewarding you for all of your hard work and all of the lessons that you have learned. And it surely better be good, right? Because there's too much that has happened since those Pluto-Uranus squares. So we will have to see how that goes. I'm going to say give it 2 to 3 days on either side to allow it to play out, but it will be exact on the 11th. And there should be a lot of wonderful stories coming out of this. Now, I have to tell you, the change that's occurred in your life up to this point, I think some days it's a little bit difficult to believe that these things have finally happened. That where, okay, almost like it's too good to be true kind of thing, and you're just waiting for the other shoe to drop. In other words, you really don't need to be worrying, but you might be going, is the universe going to come take all this back, what I just managed to do? I mean, talk about wanting to defend your territory, okay? This is toward your happiness. And anything, I'm trying to figure out how to put this to you, anything that you feel attached to at this time, you're happy about it. In other words, your connections, things are better. You might still have things that you want to work out, but believe me, this is different, all right? Some major manifestation going on here. And it's like when you've got that, what do we want to call it? Whatever your treasure is, whatever you've accomplished, that's what you're like, no, this is mine. This is all mine. I made it. I created it. Back off. Okay? Seriously. You are not going to let anybody take away anything that you've accomplished. And this is really good. You did it with a great deal of patience. And yes, there are new beginnings that are coming. Now, I have to tell you, reaching this point, there's something about being here now in the month of November, and I've said it a few times along the way, that I feel like one of the next stopping points is maybe like that March, April time frame, okay? Like a period of 6 months that goes by, and things are still moving, still changing. So you didn't just get this far and then stop. You're like, I want to see what's on the rest of my journey. But believe me, this month you might say to yourself, man, I need a little time out, okay? Because that was rough along the way, but all is good now. As I look at this, I can't help but think that, hurricane season's over, but we're still talking about those hurricanes. We're still talking about the damage from earthquakes, hurricanes, the devastation that has taken place in the world. The sacrifices that people have made, the lives that have been lost, and all of the physical loss, the emotional loss. There's a lot of sadness associated with this. And, that trying to figure out what comes next. So that's one of the things that we have to remember, that while we've all accomplished something in some way, and we have all overcome something in some way, we have to understand that there needs to be more unity and more coming together to accomplish these things. And if there was anything that was shown during all of this devastation, while these things were taking place, it was the fact that as humans, people could come together in spite of any differences and work as a team and help one another. And I think that this is showing up here because, a lot of the cleanup has been done, but there's so much more work to be done. And it's time for people to, join in. And I'm not saying like everybody here needs to do that, but I think that you're going to find that that's a theme that's going on, where people are coming together to work together. And that would be a really, really good thing. But there's some drastic change that's going on here. I wouldn't doubt that there isn't one person in your midst who just, I want to say sudden outburst, okay? I think it comes as a surprise. Like where somebody's mouth just suddenly opens and says something to you, and you're like, what just happened? And it leaves you scrambling, trying to make a plan. Wow, I don't know what that's about, but it's a good possibility that you will be seeing it over the course of the week. It could be big, it could be small, but it definitely has a lot to do with, it's just like out of the blue, okay? Now, as always, there's still change. But what's interesting here is that at the full moon, which occurred last week, you pretty much buried the past. And that's a big wow. I mean, a big, big wow. Whatever you had going on. Talk about change. But see, finally having balance and better focus. I really like this a lot. I really, truly do. Now, what's coming next? See, there's still, I think, a little bit of uncertainty. You know what you want. You know what you're wishing for. I think that more of it comes your way. Okay, let's say you managed to accomplish something really big in your life. It would appear to me that between like February and April, that wish is coming in. So let's say, it was like get a new job, get a new house, something of that nature, but you were looking for, your one true love. One thing at a time. All right, one thing at a time, one change at a time. For some reason, the universe doesn't want you to rush it, and I think have you enjoy everything along the way, and that's good, okay? If you had everything handed to you all at one time, like here's your basket of life, and this is what you get, it would never change. Think about that. If it was like life was a one-stop shop and you got everything and you're out the door and that's what you had to work with forever. This is a constant story, a constant journey. And, you're being guided, but the position that you're in now is so much different than it was before. You have separated yourself from the hard times. Oh my goodness, when can we not mention them? Well, they're a thing of the past anyway. That's for sure. That is done. You're just kind of easing along now, and you're in your new life. You're in your new life. You are creating it. This is huge. This is huge. You keep on going. See, now that you're back in the driver's seat and you have control over what's going on, watch the full moons, even the new moons too, but watch them and take note of the changes that come around each time we have a full moon and a new moon. Because I'm here to tell you that somewhere in January, February, there's some new beginnings in there for you, some new commitments. You know, things coming to fruition. Yeah. And you just kind of like snuck right on in there. And this is amazing to me. See, I think you're going to appreciate it now, the way the story kind of plays out. You're not going to be in this big rush. Before it was like, I got to get out of here. You're out of there, okay? And now you're like da 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 da, you know, playing life easy. Nowhere near as stressed. You have plans that are working. The hard times are over. I honestly, I got to tell you, it's a wonder I'm not all choked up here, because I really didn't think that I'd ever get to this point. Now, that doesn't mean that we're not going to see stages where things are coming up again, all right? There isn't going to be a stress-free world or anything like that. And there's always going to be, you know, people with ups and people with downs and all those things. But this story that we've been following, this overcoming, if you were part of that, what I started talking about with the Pluto-Uranus squares and Saturn being in Scorpio, you're done with it. You're absolutely done with it, okay? Amazing to me. Totally amazing. You have what's yours. And the choices are yours. And, you know, you have everything before you. Now, I almost want to say that you're at a little bit of a crossroads here, okay? Not so much should I stay or should I go, but yeah, sort of, kind of. There's something else going on. And I don't know that should I stay or should I go is about moving. It could be something else. But I believe what it takes you to. No, I don't want to say the solstice in December. I want to say the solstice in June. So it's kind of like that long range path. And where is that path taking you? So you could find yourself thinking this week, do I want to go see what's over there? Do I want to go talk to so-and-so? Do I want to go find out what's down this road? There's some choices being made. And I think that it's showing it now, but it's showing it playing out in the long term. And I do feel it's, you know, at that solstice in June, okay? You already know what I'm talking about, I think, yeah. And for many of you, it has to do with love. Wow. Now, see, there, I'm going to get all choky and emotional. And, you know, the reason is that for such a long time, your life was such a mess that to invite someone else into it and expect to have a long-lasting love, that was not possible. Because it's just like bringing someone else into your problems. So, will you have problems? Sure. But not like you did before. Be a long, long time before you see anything like that coming up again. So, you know, here you are. Intuitively, you're plotting the path. That's the best way I can put it. Like now. See, you gotten all that other stuff out of the way. And that's what you're sitting around thinking this week. And you're plotting the path to love. If not love, emotional fulfillment. I mean, some of you out there, I'm sure, are already, you know, in a committed relationship. But that's just it. You have learned to trust the universe to guide you, to help you towards your goals. But there's also here this week, what I see that's very important is a little bit of downtime. I don't care if it's an hour or if it's a day, like where you take a day off for yourself, you know, relaxing. A little bit of quiet introspection. Yeah. And paying attention to your inner voice. So it's almost like you will know. I can't put that into words unless we were talking one-to-one. But I think that you will know what it is you're supposed to do. Because you need to make that choice and see what direction you're going to take. Now, you do have things still to do in your life, obviously. Plenty of things to work on, and you want them to be done right. And that includes relationships. There's definitely relationships that are on your mind. And whether they're loved ones or they're other ones, they're important to you. And it's showing that a slow approach. So that makes sense. So even if you suddenly found yourself thinking about someone, and you decided that maybe you were going to reach out to them. I'm thinking it's like long range, where you really make that commitment by like June. Keep that in mind. Okay. That's a wise thing to do also. There are so many reasons for that. Now, perseverance and with perseverance with the changes. This is interesting. You felt like you went along blindly, like on a tightrope, and just like, okay, I have to, make this happen. But everything that I see, it always is around the new moon, the full moon, where you see the changes and you can sort of plot your course. Okay? So, here again, change is still coming. And there's another change coming in January. That could very well be, I know this is a weekly, but these things come up. But that could very well be, once Saturn moves on into Capricorn, because you're going to see an area of your life ease up for you. All right? And there you go. Okay? So, yeah. The future, it's always out there. Always out there. And, you think about it a lot. And you also think about how many things you've, I want to say, turned your back on. Okay. Amazing. But life is, life is feeling good. It's feeling much more organized, where you're in control. And that's not the emotional part of it. That's the mental part of it, where you can say, I have my life in order. I can enjoy the riches of my life. That doesn't have to be money. It's just, the things that matter the most, the things that make you feel secure. And basically, it's because you've taken charge and you've worked hard at it. So, this is great for you. Really, truly is. Those, I don't want to say new beginnings. I want to say that you're more inclined now to take a chance on things than you would have in the past. So I kind of think of this week as one where you're taking a breather, okay, because of all of your accomplishments. And that's not saying you're taking the whole week off, but you're maybe just going, what a ride. And okay, then it's kind of like, what comes next? Now here's the thing. It's not about me sitting here and telling you what comes next. What do you want? What do you want to make happen? I think at this point, it's very important for you to, pat yourself on the back and be proud of your accomplishments and know that you can do whatever you set your mind to. Okay? There is that little bit of worry that I see you starting the week with, going, wow, is it for real? Are they going to come take it away? But truthfully, no. You're ready to gather yourself and go find the next destination. And I kind of think that the next destination has a couple stopovers. I'm thinking that, you're going to see things happening pretty much every month in 2018, especially the first 6 months of the year. Once you get to the end of June, no. All right, you're going to see Mars go retrograde, and then a little later in the year, you're also going to see Venus retrograde. So both in the same year. The second half of next year is going to be a little harder, okay? But the things that you accomplish, the decisions that you're making this week, the direction choices, they're taking you to something wonderful in June. So if you feel like you need that time out to daydream, to think, to plot your course, I would definitely do it, because that will help you decide which way to go next. I want to thank you all very much for being here, and I'll see you again real soon. Take care.